Welcome to the Lamb's High Feast. I'm Father Timothy Eck. This week we celebrate the 14th Sunday of Ordinary Time on July 5th, 2026. You can find today's readings in the show notes. May the Lord who feeds us at his altar bless you through his word. Though we find ourselves on the 14th Sunday of Ordinary Time, I find our readings quite providential, how well they line up for this great anniversary of our 250th anniversary as a country. Because we have a consistent theme throughout of peace and how do we bring about peace. And it's one of those topics that A, we often don't understand, and B, is worth reflecting on because it's one of the realities which the state, the country, is meant to strive for. Now first, peace, that's just a high-level concept we often think of in negative terms, meaning it's not a positive reality that exists, it's an absence of something, namely war, violence, oppression. These kind of realities, when they do not exist, we are, quote-unquote, at peace. But from our first reading from Zechariah, we hear something very different, where we see the Lord comes to the people of Israel, and he brings them justice, and as a result, peace. Because the absence of peace is truly the absence of justice. And when there is justice, there is in turn peace. So we can in a way say, well, what is peace? Peace is justice. And so that's how we can articulate a positive reality to what is peace. And so then what our nation is supposed to be striving for? Well, justice. And now this sounds far more familiar to how we understand it. We want peace, we must strive for justice. And whenever there is violence, that means there has been some perceived or real breakdown of justice. Okay. But then, what is justice? Throughout our tradition, we'll give two definitions, or really the same definition, articulated from two different perspectives. First, we can say justice is to be living in right relationship with one another. When you are living properly with your spouse, your family, your neighbors, your society, you are living in justice. Part of living in right relationship with someone comes our next definition, to give what is due to the other. Because what is due to another is part of being in right relationship to them. So then this is what justice is, the state, the nation. We exist as societies to help facilitate the right relationship among us. Because we are, well, social. We cannot exist on our own. We even come to understand what it means to be us by being in relationship with others. We really come to be me in relationship to you. And this begins in the family, which is why we call it the founding block of society. We enter into right relationship with each other and family. And then from there, families exist with one another. And they build up this greater hierarchy in a way, which is then societies. So we have a relationship with one another there. But foundationally, in order to enter into those relationships properly, to enter into a relationship with ourselves properly, we then must have God. This is what we also saw in our first reading. It was that God entered into society, into the people of Israel, entered into right relationship with them, they with him, and in turn entered into right relationship with one another. So we have this network of relationships to bring about justice. These network of relationships then which are required for true peace to be brought about. But this brings us to tensions in our hearts, however much we might like this nice theory. Because it first comes to, it is impossible to be at peace with those whom we hate. Technically, in a definitional level, we cannot be at peace with those whom we hate. Because those whom we hate, we do not desire what is good for them. And since we do not desire what is good for them, then that means we do not desire to be in right relationship with them. Right? Someone who you hate, you don't want to be in a relationship. You don't want to restore what was harmed and broken. And so we cannot produce justice. And so we cannot produce peace. We are in a way forever at war with those whom we hate. Second, on a level of our flesh. We realize there's a tension in our relationships. We realize, right, if I have a book, you can't have the book. If I give you the book, I no longer have the book. And we can share, but we cannot at the same time have things. There is competition, opposition at the level of flesh, the level of our bodies, which is what St. Paul is talking about. How the flesh is at war against the spirit. And when we live of the flesh, we're not at peace. Now, there are things of the spirit which can be shared without being in competition. Friendship. When you're friends with one another, this is something held in common. And if one was to stop holding it, the friendship would cease to exist. In fact, it can only exist in relationship with one another. Unlike a book, mutually exclusive, friendship can only exist with each other. And then so too with justice, right? Justice, you have to be in relationship with someone else. Two-way street. The spiritual goods then can only exist when shared with one another. Recall the common good. St. Paul then says that the goods of the Spirit we should be seeking. We should live in the Spirit of Christ. We should be seeking these greater things. So it's only in the Spirit and then we can transcend hate because love is a spiritual good. Spiritual reality. It is in the Spirit that we can transcend the felt tension between the things of the world and find some way to live in peace, in justice with one another without collapsing everything down into some monad, some beige consistency where everyone must be the same. It is only in the Spirit that a true diversity can be found, where the particular uniqueness of each individual can be put in right relationship with one another in all of society. This then is why Christ says his burden is light and his yoke is easy. Because he invites us to these higher things, invites us first into right relationship with himself, that is God, so that in turn we might enter into that right relationship with one another. We need not be fighting against our bodies, but in communion with one another and God be directed towards our ultimate ends. Our Lord did not come to subject us to dominion as those who are powerful want to do. He did not come to enslave us. He said, "You are my friends." He came to restore justice. That was in the garden we walked as friends with God, as friends with one another, in peace. Peace founded upon that love. As we reflect on this 250th anniversary, as we reflect on our lives with one another, it's worth reflecting on. Do we seek true peace? That is, do we seek justice? That is, do we seek friendship with one another? Do we seek to love one another? Put aside the worries of the flesh, not that they're unimportant, but seek not the worries of the flesh among others which divide us. To seek the spiritual things, seek God first, and then seek the good of your neighbor.